So basically, I want to talk about something that may be hard for some to hear because of the type of, world we live in and how we are as people. Most people in this world have pride, have ego, and it's hard to let that go when others are wronging you, and not treating you right and not showing you the love that you feel like you should receive from them, especially when you're giving love, and everything like that. See, we got a lot of people out there who have something against someone. And they may even want to forgive them and ask for an apology on their behalf. But because they don't feel like the other person would show that same type of emotion, they just leave it alone. They just continue to have unforgiveness in their heart, and they don't understand how to let it go because they don't think the other person would let it go. With that being said, I just want to just put this out there. I don't think that we should ever have the expectation to basically look for an apology from someone when we feel we're going to apologize. One thing that's important to do and to understand is that when you want to live right and do things the way that God tells us to do it, which is always give forgiveness and show forgiveness to others. The only thing that you should be focused and locked in on is you showing forgiveness and not expecting anyone else to do anything. If they do, that's great. But if they don't, it isn't for you to decide what they do. It isn't even for you to feel any type of pride or an ego because you apologized and you didn't get nothing back in return. It's not good to hold unforgiveness in your heart because the more you hold unforgiveness in your heart, the only one that it tears down is yourself. Unforgiveness could stop you from growing, building, succeeding, and being who you're supposed to be on this earth. The person that you are not forgiving because whatever was done was so deep in your heart that you feel it. They have space in your mind, space that you should be given to something else. So that person is holding you back because of you. You're letting it happen. This is why it is important to apologize and forgive others with no expectation. And I bring this up because the other day I had a situation at work to where, I got into it with someone in my building. And to be realistic about it, I did it sticking up for my employees. It was something they brought to me, and I thought the person was being disrespectful with how they handle things in the office. So I had to go stand up for the ladies in my office, who are a part of the company that I run. So I went and did that, and he wasn't showing no sign of, being apologetic. And he was being slightly disrespectful. So I kept that same energy. I was not pulling back. Like I said, he did some things that I'm like, nah, that ain't right. I got to go say something. And when I went to talk to him, he took it to another level, and I went there with him. And it didn't end well. It didn't end in a physical altercation or anything like that. I'm just saying we didn't leave without resolving anything, right? So a couple of days passed, and I'm like, you know what? I don't like that type of energy being in my office. And I'm a Christian man, so let me go do the right thing and apologize. Even if I feel like I wasn't even in the wrong, still, I was like, let me go and apologize, right? So I went to go apologize. I went and I apologized to the guy. He wanted to basically complain about how, yeah, because you wasn't right and everything like that. He went into that direction. He didn't apologize to me. And afterwards, he seemed like, he was hearing what I was saying, but did it really get resolved? Probably not. But I left with saying, at the end of all of it, still, I apologize. I hope you forgive me. And, if you need anything, let me know. I left it at that, right? But I got no apology. I forgave him. He probably didn't forgive me. I don't know. But I was satisfied with that. Because after I forgave him, it was no longer on my mind. It wasn't in my heart. And I was able just to move forward. And if I see the dude, it's, hey, what's up? Whatever. He don't have to say nothing to me. I'm cool. I'm not letting this man take space in my head. And that led me to basically do this video. To basically say, look, you cannot hold unforgiveness in your heart. And you cannot expect someone to give you what you probably gave them. You got to let that expectation go. If God leads you to do something, do it with no expectation. And you should want to forgive because it's the right thing to do. Luke 17:3-4 say, pay attention to yourself, not others. Pay attention to yourself. If your brother sins, rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him. And if he sinned against you 7 times in a day and you turn and turns to you 7 times saying, I repent, you must forgive him. If your brother goes against you 7 times in a row, you must forgive him 7 times in a row. You can't sit back and say, well, he's not resolving anything with me. That's pride. That's ego. That's what holds us back. And we do that a lot as people. See, there's so many things that lead up to us not growing and being where we're at in life, being at a place that we don't want to be in and not being able to go past that. It's a lot of things that add up to that we don't even think about and realize. At the end of the day, we really just holding ourselves back. Because it's things we will not let go because of our pride and ego. See, a lot of people may feel like I had every right to not go say nothing to that guy because I was sticking up for my employees because of something that was done to them that was very wrong. So a lot of people may look at it like, yeah, Paul, you went and stood up for your employees. You don't got to say nothing to him. If anything, let him come say something to you if it ever do happen. But no, I didn't look at it that way. I said, you know what? Hey, the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. I'm going to forgive him and I'm going to go and apologize for my part in that situation because it's the right thing to do. And after you do that, you feel so free and you feel so relieved. You feel the weight off of your shoulders and now you could just go out there and just be great. So don't be the one that leave all that weight on your shoulders of unforgiveness and hate and pride and ego. Take it all off of you. Don't get me wrong. Because of our flesh, a lot of us still have some pride and stuff somewhere up in there. But I'm just saying, don't wear it on your sleeve everywhere you walk every day. Just in total pride. Oh, I don't need to forgive that person. Oh, I don't need to apologize. No, let that go. Because that can't do nothing but hurt you. It is not going to help you grow. So I really hope a lot of you out there really take that message to heart. Because when I went through that situation, it really made me think about it. I'm like, man, I was just thinking about how many times I've been through a situation like that and didn't apologize because I'm like, I was in the right. How many times? And every time I did it, that was just more weight on my shoulders. And another person now I got in my head because I hold this against them. I hold unforgiveness for them. So think about all the people that have a part of your mind that you cannot get out of your mind. As much as you want to say, because you know what people like to say, I don't care. I ain't thinking about them. I don't care about that person. I would never forgive them, ever. And I don't got to apologize. That person have a piece of this. Trust me. And the more you have that in you, the harder it's going to be for you to blossom into who you need to be and who you want to be ultimately. You got to let those things go. You got to forgive. It doesn't mean you got to go and now have a personal relationship with the person afterwards. It's just saying, look, this is the right thing to do. This is the godly thing to do. And now after you do it, you could go out there and blossom and feel free as a bird, being all you could be. Period. So I hope that this message really get across to some individuals out there who is dealing with situations like this and not even understand that they're dealing with it. They just starting to notice that, man, why do I feel like I'm depressed and I feel like I have this guilt and, all of this negativity in me. Why I can't get rid of it, not understanding that it's because you hold all of these things in your heart. You hold pride, ego, unforgiveness, hatred for a person or persons, out there, and you just cannot get rid of it, and you not understanding why you feel depressed and down all the time. It's because you got to relieve yourself of that. You have to relieve yourself of that. You have to. So I really hope this get across to some people out there and it do some good. Because there's a lot of steps to growing. This is one of the steps that you have to achieve to grow. Having a free heart of unforgiveness and not worrying about the way people react to you as long as you react the right way to them. If you need to apologize today, go and apologize to the people you need to apologize to and forgive them, whether they forgive you or not. Forgive them. I promise you, you'll feel so different. I promise you. I promise you. That person may still hold something in their heart for you. For you, that's between them and God. It ain't between you, him, and God anymore. It's between that person and God. You freed yourself from that sin of unforgiveness. You freed yourself from it. Apologize, did what you had to do. Whether they do it or not, you can walk away in peace.